Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got something a little different for you, as I'll be starting a new account to play alongside BA Chunkman, who is still slaving away for the BA pet. Of course this isn't going to be a regular account. No, my brain is too damaged from years of playing old school RuneScape to play a normal account. Instead, I'll be making possibly an even dumber account this time around because the power is completely in your hands and not mine. That's right, you guys will largely pick the content that I will be doing, and it's up to you to be my salvation or downfall in picking the grinds that I have to complete. The goal is simple, to complete the collection log one category at a time, but you guys will choose what that category is through voting. This time though, I won't be doing it alone, as I have searched the earth for some equally low IQ gamers who are willing to take on some of the absolutely unbearable grinds this challenge is going to bring. My search led me to Tony Ma, an absolutely cracked Barbarian Assault player who I've been playing BA with for quite a while now. I knew Tony was the gamer that I needed when he told me he once did 2,000 laps of the Monkey Agility course just to have a rank in Monkey BACC, and his reason for doing that was he had nothing better to do at the time. So with Tony ready to go, that left my good friend Manhuff, a guy I've known for a very long time. He is very talented at editing and pretty much everything that I'm not, as far as video making and stuff goes. He's made some of my thumbnails, and he made the nice intro for BA Chunkman that a lot of you guys, said that you liked in the comments, so I'm very happy to have him aboard doing this with us, as it'll make your experience as a viewer so much better. The three of us are now going to become a group, and we're going to begin the start of a very long journey. Welcome to Chat Locked. So let's go over the rules of how this series works. You guys, the viewers, who I'll be referring to as chat, even though you're technically not chat, I don't have a more clever name at this moment, so if you think of one, put it in the comments. You're going to be given a list of content that's been broken up into tiers like clue scrolls in the game. These tiers are based entirely off the player skill required to do the content, not necessarily the length of the grind. The tiers will be beginner, easy, medium, hard, elite, and master, just like clue scrolls. We've done our best to go through the collection log and try to rank everything fairly into these tiers. Your job as chat is to simply pick one piece of collection log content from each one of the tiers, and we must complete the selected collection log while avoiding completion of any of the other logs at the same time. So for example, let's say our beginner challenge, you pick Trouble Brewing. For easy, you could pick Barrows. For medium, you pick Cowfight Queen. For hard, you pick Abyssal Sire. For elite, Corrupt Gauntlet. And for master, the Inferno. We would have all of these collection logs to pick from to complete, just like you can hold one clue scroll of each tier. It leaves the door open for us to have a little bit of strategy, and it keeps you from completely locking us out of the entire game for like a year if you just picked Inferno right off. That wouldn't really be much fun, would it? So let's say in this example, you picked Trouble Brewing, but we really needed Void from Pest Control for some reason or another. Maybe to complete one of the higher tier challenges. We would have to suffer through the entire Trouble Brewing grind and pray that you as chat were merciful enough to give us Pest Control in the next vote. And maybe you guys aren't feeling so nice and you give us Castle Wars instead, so then we would have to do Castle Wars instead and then hope you voted for Pest Control. So you can see how this could get pretty painful, right? So throughout this challenge, I'll try to do my best to keep quiet about what items that we want, just to try to not influence the vote, but obviously that's going to be pretty difficult to do, to go over the strategy of how we do things or whatever, but we'll try to make it work. So once the collection log for the choice that you guys voted on is completed, you'll simply vote for the next one. It might sound pretty easy on paper though, right? But think of all the content that you have to dodge to do this. For example, Rooftop Agility is a collection log slot, so we can't really use that to train agility because we can't pick up the marks because it's a collection log slot. So we can't even get Graceful, which is something most early game Ironmen do. We can't go to Wintertot. Those are collection log slots, unless you guys vote for it, of course. Even something as simple as Imp Catcher becomes risky, because if we try to kill an Imp to get the bead for the quest, we might accidentally get the Imp Champion scroll and the entire series is ruined. I think you'll be pretty amazed at how many things are linked in this game, and some of the stuff we're going to have to do to avoid accidentally completing a collection log slot that you guys didn't vote for. To that end, Tony has written a custom hide option for all the NPCs we can't attack without risking a collection log slot, and so far it's 232 different NPCs. So that also means that certain diaries are going to be locked because most of them require various boss kills. We're going to omit skilling pets so we can just skill without having to worry about these, since, you know, skills are going to be needed for just about any grind on this list. But yeah, it's my belief that you're going to get to watch true pain no matter how the vote goes. So let's all just have fun with it. Of course, there are going to be some exceptions with a challenge this broad. The obvious being meme teardrop rates like the evil chicken outfit, which is both time gated and, you know, pretty rare. So that's not really something we would want to go for. Some items are also duplicates, so we're going to have to overlap collection logs sometimes. There's just nothing you can do about that. And we're going to need to exclude some things altogether because it basically makes the game unplayable. For example, the dragon half, what is it, right, left half, whatever it is, it's on the rare drop table, which means like a ton of different monsters can drop it, and we just can't be bothered to try and play around that. I'm not going to go over every rule and exception because there are just so many of them for a challenge this broad, but what I will do is link a Pastebin in the description below for you to read, and if you're truly interested in everything that we were able to think of as far as exceptions and rule wise, it'll be in that Pastebin. So, I mean, there's just so much stuff in this game to consider that I almost guarantee we've overlooked several things. So feel free to comment below if you spot something and I will try to update it as we go. We may end up accidentally hard locking ourselves if we run into a scenario we haven't thought about, so just be patient with us. Remember, at the end of the day, we're just trying to have a bit of fun, and we're going to play by the rules to the absolute best of our abilities, and mistakes will probably happen along the way, but, you know, it'll be in good faith. As a side note, the Slayer tab really sucks to try to plan this series around, as training Slayer is just an absolute must because there's so many quest requirements and monsters that you guys can vote for that we need to train Slayer. So we did our best to add certain collection log slots from the Slayer tab and miscellaneous tabs as well to places that we thought they kind of fit like thematically well, so that there aren't just a million different options to choose from. If you see something missing from these tabs, the reason is most likely that we didn't find it to be a particularly strong item, and maybe we didn't want to have too much options to choose from. But we did make sure to give really strong items like the Black Mask their own spot for you guys to pick. To that end, an important exception that we are going to add is that we will be starting with the Turiel collection log pieces. I don't know if I said his name right. Unlocked. And they must all be completed alongside whatever you guys vote for the beginner tier. So if you pick like pest control for beginner tier, add everything that you can get from Turiel to that collection log as well. This is simply because it could be possible to completely lock ourselves out of Slayer if we can't use the Turiel cancel trick. We could theoretically run out of Slayer points for cancels to get monsters that we can actually kill without, you know, getting a different collection log, and also not be able to Turiel skip, because if he gives us a monster with a collection log slot, then we're kind of stuck, and that would make Slayer impossible to train for the levels that we're gonna need. And definitely gonna need to train Slayer, so we gotta add that one exception in. Sorry that you guys didn't get to vote on that, but dictatorship overrode democracy on this one. Hopefully it's the only time this happens. So all of that stuff will be summarized in the Pastebin though, if you really want to go through and analyze it like I said before, and that'll be in the description below. Okay, obviously since this is episode 0, you guys haven't voted on any content yet, so in the meantime we're going to be working on the first steps of the account, and that's going to be following Osiris's guide starting off, but obviously skipping the winter top part because it's a collection log slot. It's just a good way to get a good start on our accounts while we wait for the vote, and I'll do a quick recap of everything that we did in the next episode. As far as voting goes, the link for that will be in the description, and it'll lead you to a Google form where you will see all of the various collection log tabs split up into the tier of difficulty that we felt they belonged in, which is again based off of how difficult the content itself is, not how long the grind is or prerequisites for the grind. Like 90 Slayer for a Dark Beast is a good example of this. It's a high requirement. 90 Slayer takes quite some time to get on an iron. But the Dark Beasts themselves are very easy to kill, so therefore they go into the easy slot. The reason we had to use forms was that there were too many voting options for me to poll you guys through YouTube. That would be my preferred option, but too many collection log slots, unfortunately. So I figure forums is probably the next best option. If you don't wish to vote, feel free to not vote and just sit back and enjoy the show. I think you'll have a lot of fun either way. And yeah, but it's a nice little way to participate and, you know, have your voice into the direction that the content goes. I have no idea how many of you guys will vote. I think I'd be happy if like 50 people voted. So if there's only like 50 votes, you know, your one vote will actually go pretty far. So anyways, that's all for Cowpunch Man and the Utter Legends, as we call ourselves. That's all we've got for you today, so be on the lookout for the results video of the vote coming out soon. We're going to be going over the voting results, obviously, and we're going to go over some of the account progress and strategize for the future of our accounts based off of what you guys selected. So remember to like and subscribe if you're as hyped for this as I am. I'm so excited, guys. And collude with each other on voting in the comments, you know, see what you guys can come up with. And I hope you all have an excellent rest of your day.